Charles Xavier and Cassandra Nova are a subspecies of mutants. Let's talk about it. And another rereading. This is like my 15th one of the Uncanny X-Men because I'm really trying to pick all those intricate and hidden details throughout this entire series. And lo and behold, I found yet another one. Like I noted at the start of the video, Cassandra and Charles are considered specific, unique breeds of mutants. In the series, Charles ends up finding himself in a psychic confrontation against someone named Mr. Scurvy. And even though he doesn't know much about said Mr. Scurvy, on the opposite side, Mr. Scurvy knows a lot about Charles. So much so that he's the one that tells Charles that he's a part of a specific breed of mutants called the Avians. It's a funny, unique trait when you really look at it, but Avians are literally top-tier psionics who are bald. Being bald is damn near a prerequisite, and outside of Charles and Mr. Scurvy, the other people of note is Harvey X, Cassandra Nova, and Inmate X. Let's talk about them for a second. I have to go super detail on Cassandra Nova, but the very fact that she's a subspecies of mutants gives her so much more relevancy. The fact that she's the psionic twin of Charles makes so much sense now. And also, if you peep, she's bald, bruh. That is a prerequisite to being a part of the avian subgene. Then we get into Harvey X, and we've known of this character since the very first issue. It was the kid who was on their deathbed. It was a kid who blessed Rogue the ability of coming back from death. But peep this. The issue, right? Not only did he help Rogue come back from death, he knows a specific thing. Reveals that he is a top echelon psionic, one that's able to border the realms of life and death, as we see with Rogue verbatim. It goes even a little bit beyond that, because Harvey X is not only a top echelon psionic, he also has top echelon precognition, and because of this, played specific points and interests in order to lead the Uncanny X-Men team to even get together in the first place. Harvey is quite literally the reason we have the Uncanny X-Men team. Harvey is the reason why all these mutants are developing. And Harvey is the reason why Rogue is still alive. There's still one more member of this subspecies, Inmate X, and unironically might be the most powerful psionic on Earth currently. I want you to keep in mind that both Mr. Scurvy and Charles are in the vicinity. Two whole teams of X-Men containing people like Rogue, Psylocke, Juggernaut, Magic, the list goes on and on. Despite all that manpower, despite all that psionic capability, the girl was not worried. It's not because of Blob. It's not because of Sarah. It's not because of the rail cannon that they have linked to a satellite. Because the real big gun is Inmate X, otherwise known as the Final Avian. And Charles is still in the vicinity. You have top echelon A-list mutants. And she was still confident enough that Inmate X would have made the cleanest, quickest work of two total X-Men teams. Let's go over exactly what an avian is after all that yapping. It's practically a subspecies of mutants who mainly pertain in psionic abilities who are boosted to the most astronomical level. But the thing that typically keeps them back is the tumor in their head. The tumor is what took Harvey out. As we learn in X-Men Manhunt in this entire event, Charles was going to suffer the same fate had his wife not removed that very tumor. This symbolizes for us, or as a reader, that this tumor is the limitation, a biological limitation to keep back these psionic heavy hitters. Because as we know, the moment Charles got the tumor out of his head, he no longer needed Cerebro to be considered an Omega level threat. He literally became an Omega level. Very same event, Charles was putting belt to ass against an Omega level. Who had to stop him? It wasn't Kid Omega. It wasn't his own abilities. It was the fact that he stole a psychic aspect of Cassandra Nova, another avian. Literal Omega level mutant fell back on the avians. This is showing you that despite them being their subspecies is some of the most potent psionics in all of existence. Despite everything I just noted, despite Charles, Cassandra, Harvey X being Omega level threats, Inmate X is beyond each and every one of them. Not crazy to say that whoever's behind this door is probably the strongest psionic on Earth right now. With Charles, Jean, Legion off doing their own thing, who could really stop old boy outside of Kid Omega maybe getting an upgrade? I was also wondering that if subsections of mutants actually exist prior to this ideology, they have, and there's quite a plethora of them, but the main one that most people might know Externals, they are a subgene, a subspecies of mutant kind thanks to magic meddling. The same logic applies. Charles, Cassandra, Harvey X, Inmate X, the list goes on, just for their specific demographics. Psionics. Psionic energy, psionic power is what made them deviate from the rest of the X gene. They're just so potent in that regard that no other individuals in the species can really hang with them in that, on that power alone, outside of external sources. And it makes sense because Charles, since the very beginning, has been banging out with the strongest psionic, Jean Grey. The Phoenix! That's crazy. But hey, keep rereading series, bro. Don't always just try to stick on the new stuff because you're going to be able to find information just like I did here.